If
Okay.
you could be known for only one thing, what would it
Ooh,
be?
being the conscious investor.
What is the greatest lesson in leadership that entrepreneurship has taught you?
The power of presence.
What personal characteristic has been most pivotal to your success?
Believing in myself.
All right, and
Most
this
of
is
it.
where we do get to laugh a little bit. Okay, we are gonna take a random question. So this could be ridiculous, it could be silly, or it could be something that makes people cry.
I wish
All
I
right, tell
could
me when to
reach through the
stop.
screen and like
You
grab
want
it.
to take the card off the top? This one?
Top,
This one
yes,
right
that
here?
one right there.
Okay,
Yes,
here.
that one. Here, grabbed it.
Which event, past, present, or future, would you like to witness?
Ooh. Oh gosh, there's so many really exciting things that are happening in the world. I'm going to go into the future because so many people are like haters of the future and scared of the future and all of that. And I'm really excited about the future and where the world will be and where my family will be. I would love in the future, I'm really excited about being out on a retreat center that I own and having my family and grandkids there and having artists there who are finishing up their artwork, be it prose or, fine art or abstract art, whatever it is, music, and having investors there, people just growing personally. I really look forward to that moment of like conscious investors being together and supporting each other. Like that's really so exciting to me.
Wow. As a lover of future, I got to ask you one bonus question. Jean-Luc Picard or Captain Kirk?
Well, you're gonna hate me now. I'm like, I did watch the Treks, right? But I'm a Star Wars person.
Okay.
So, but I'm gonna say Kirk. Captain Kirk. He's classic.
I
He's
had a feeling
classic.
you say you're in love with the future, but I sensed classic.
It really is. I mean, like Picard wouldn't even be here if Kirk had not existed. So like anybody who's like, oh, Picard, it's like, yeah, he's great. But actually that really falls in line with the whole conversation of evolution and expansion. So Kirk doesn't mean he wasn't bad. If you are a Picard person, Picard wouldn't be there though without Kirk. That could really we could get deep and philosophical on that. And I'm not even a Trekkie.
All right. Okay. Coming back to the script here, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Name a book that has helped to forge you as a leader or as an entrepreneur, and why. I feel like, gosh, we talked about the whole episode. What is the number one though?
Oh my gosh. I'm looking at the book and we talked about this. Every book shifts who you are. If you're reading and engaging, every book like stacks. So now we come into a Kirk and Picard situation, even with the books. Like, well, if I hadn't read High Performance Habits, then I wouldn't have appreciated something like the 12-week year, or like you can't appreciate one thing without the other. So I would say though, really High Performance Habits was when I started to see myself by Brendon Burchard. I didn't understand. My whole life came into context. I'm like, oh my gosh, nobody told me I was a high performer. I mean, I graduated college early. I started a career at 22. I knew I was I call myself an overachiever. And then when I read that book, I felt for the first time very, very understood. And I was able to better understand myself. And that started opening up this whole, what we know as a conscious investor now. It's like, oh, okay, this is why I am the way I am. I'm not a problem or faulty or dysfunctional. These are my strengths. Let's use them and let's go serve the world powerfully.
Describe a failure or misstep and what it taught you.
Oh my gosh. Shiny object syndrome cost me a ton of time, and I lost a lot of sleep because I thought I'm going to get multiple streams of passive income. I'm going to have my real estate, and then I'm going to have e-commerce, and I'm going to have crypto, and I'm going to have all these like different things going on. And e-commerce, like just really taught me a lot of valuable lessons because I had a Walmart store. I had 6 figures leveraged on a Amex card. And that's normal because it's a business. And so you're buying your inventory, you're selling your inventory, it's getting paid off. It's not an issue until Walmart shuts you down. And Walmart decided that they were shutting down a bunch of stores. Mine, like half of the stores got shut down. My store is one of them. And it created a lot of sleepless nights because when you have like a $60,000 bill that's due and Walmart's holding your money hostage, it's a little bit stressful. It was a lot stressful. And it was supposed to be a passive investment. I was just supposed to pay and buy the store and everybody else runs it. And so it really kept I was already invested passively in real estate before that. And it's very much grounded me and given me a stronger heartbeat for passive investors that we serve at 3 Keys, because you don't ever want anyone to feel what I felt and to have that level of stress. And so it's created a deep level of awareness. By the way, God provided, everything was always paid on time and my credit didn't get trashed. So I feel like, whew, barely made it through that one, but that taught me a lot of lessons about investing in what you know, I'm very particular about my partners. Anyone who follows me knows I am. And that probably taught me a lot about partnerships. Like, know your partners.
Wow. Great lessons. And I know you like to have your partners, you would like to do deals with somebody for a year before you let outside investors in, correct?
I like to have a relationship with a person for a year.
Okay.
Yes. Before I do a deal with people, I call it layers of insulation for our passive investors. Like, okay, I've known this person. I've been watching them on social platforms. I've probably met them in person at an event, which, by the way, you and I know, if you can go to an event in person and you already have a relationship with someone and you're interested in partnering, now you can watch, like, how do they carry themselves? How do they interact with people? Like, is that reflective? Because our brands reflect upon each other if we're in a partnership. And it's like, okay, well, is that something that I want to be aligned with? Is that the way they carry themselves and the way they treat people? Is that aligned with my brand as well? And am I aligned with their brand? Maybe I'm, just a little too happy. I don't know. So, it's really like,
are you too happy? Get out of here.
I know. Get out of here. Be more serious. Come on. but it really, it's really important. I also like to collaborate with people on podcasts and create little pieces of content because you see how people show up. And so I take time to understand who I'm partnering with.
Great. And one last, because I remember I'd been wondering what is 3 Keys Investments? I just want to take a wild guess. Is this like the old 3 lock box? You keep something safe by having to get 3 keys to get in, or is this, am I totally off on this?
Okay, you're totally off. However, I do have, look, one of my friends actually found these, and my daughter gave me this bird for Christmas. So yeah, 3 Keys Investments. And if you're listening, go to the YouTube channel. I'm holding up 3 antique looking metal keys that look like they should open a prison cell or a magic box. So, and I'm also holding up a really cute bird that is made of some type of resin. It's heavy. All that to say, so 3 Keys Investments, my faith is central. I think everyone knows that who follows me. Faith is central in my life. So, you have the Trinity in the Christian faith, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. 3 is also, I'm 3rd generation in real estate. And so I'm 1st gen when it comes to commercial and apartment investing, but I'm 3rd gen in real estate. So 3. And just be honest with yourself. If you do something 3 times, if you like it, love it, or need to leave it. And so 3 is a really magical number and my favorite number because, it's like 3 bites of anything, if first bite, that was okay. Second bite, you're like, 3rd bite, you're like either heck yeah or hell no. Right. So it's like 3 is magical.
Okay, so is this a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken from Ecclesiastes?
We can even go that route.
Okay.
We can even go into Jesus rose for after 3 days.
On the 3rd day.
I don't know. I mean, this could definitely get over spiritualized.
Okay. All right. So
So
not
it's
necessarily from the verse from Ecclesiastes, but there are a lot of threes in the Bible, a lot of 40s in the Bible.
sevens, right? Right. So it has like, I like the whole concept of three keys is like, you have, I had like my faith is represented, my family heritage is represented, and just that concept of, you know, everything we've been talking about, you know, course correct. Within three, you can know where you need to go. You can listen to that intuition. You can course correct. Wow, we've really integrated a lot of this. This is good. And if you're looking on YouTube, I'll describe this for you listener, is that the logo of Three Keys is a bird sitting atop a bird cage. And the cage is open. And that was something I visualized in my mind from the very get-go, is I want people to no longer live these caged lives. So at the genesis of the company, I was all about personal freedom. I didn't have the words to describe it. So I have a picture, like, be the bird on top of the cage. Stop living in the small cage. Go and live, and don't live like, oh, look at the blue sky. That's my glass ceiling. Stop living small. There is like this whole thing called space and galaxies, like go live in the black. So I'm into living in the black now, because the galaxy is expansive and there are universes to be discovered, and our lives should never be trapped by our single atmosphere of the planet we're currently living on.
And I thought that your background was black just because it's a slick color. So if we're going to reach out to you, all those future conscious investors in our listening audience, how do they reach Julie Holly?
You know, the best way, I'm going to give you the back door. You can only get there if you are listening on a podcast or watching on YouTube. If you go to julieholly.com, you will just get the most personalized page, and it will tell, like, you'll be able to schedule time with me. You'll be able to see the book club, but it really houses all the brand. Soon, and maybe when this is released, we will have an actual website that is strictly The Conscious Investor. The domain is taken. So if you or listeners or viewers have any suggestions for a domain name for The Conscious Investor, I still haven't figured that one out yet. Kind of holding me up a little bit. So go to julieholly.com and
In the
schedule
meantime,
time. I like to talk to people. I like getting to know people. So don't be afraid.
well, I've had a lot of favorite interviews in this series, Julie, but I have to say this is probably the most joyful interview that I can remember.
That makes my heart so happy, because you know what? Life has all of its ups and downs, but we should have fun swimming in our zone of genius, and we should have fun in everything that we do, even the challenges.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and experience with our audience, Julie.
No, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And it's great to actually like just be able to see you face to face and talk and everything.
I know. Yeah, we have to just stop meeting at these barbecue restaurants.
I'll tell you off air. Next one. You got like we've got events coming up.